focused on you. I was going to 5 years, but I'm going to say 2. In 2 years, where would you like to see Diamond's house in this organization?
Wow. I would like to see Diamond's house helping so many women that are faced with domestic violence situations. I'd like to have at least 2 homes, one for single women, and then the other for women and children. I hope that we would receive some funding, because that's something that we need in order for us to continue in our mission. Basically.
And to Mr. Mark Jenkins.
What do I say?
No, different question.
Okay. Wow.
Your spoken word.
Okay.
Your book.
Okay.
You said many great things, and I'm quite sure you got more things about you.
Thank you.
Spoken about. What you do when you see yourself in these years.
Let me give you a different question, man. Okay. Where do I see myself in 2 years? Wow. I know I see myself doing more traveling and speaking. That's one of my desires actually for this year's out, to do more things out of state. A lot of times we get locked in state. I'm not a locked in state person. Take me out of state. So doing more things out of state, encouraging more people, which is interesting. I didn't expect this to happen, but encourage more people to do books. I didn't really have a big goal of doing a book. I mean, doing a book was one of the things I was going to do before I died. That was about it. It wasn't a real major goal for me. But I got hit with an opportunity where I said, I can do a book. The time is right now to do a book, so I can do a book. But ever since I've done the book, a lot of people ask me, how did you do it? How did you do it? What was the process? Did it cost you a couple thousand? No, it didn't cost me a couple thousand. It cost me less than 500. It actually cost me less than 400. You come up with the whole process and walk away with 20 books. Well, 40 books at the time. 40 books. It cost me less than 400. So a lot of people are asking questions about the process and who did I use and what did I go through. And they're trying to find out if it's possible for them to do it. My answer to them is yes. And I give them all the contacts I have or whatever it takes, because I want to see them reach their goals just like I reached mine. So I guess in 2 years, I see myself doing more of that. Inspire more people to write books, putting more books out. And as far as the type of the books I have, I consider them like, what is what called books for dummies. That's what I consider it, because it's short, it's to the point, and anybody can read it. There's nothing deep. There are no big words, because I don't use too many big words, because I don't know too many big words. So you can't use what you don't know. So it's real simple. I've seen teenagers read the book and be inspired. So I'm going to do more books of this type. Like I said, the next one is about marriage. The one after that is about being yourself. I can't release the title of that yet, because I'm battling what the title's going to be. But it's about comparison. That's the main thing, comparing yourself to other people. You don't have to compare, create your own path. But 2 years, doing more books, speaking more, encouraging more, empowering more.
Another question.
Okay.
It's pretty much a parallel. What inspired you to become an engineer to support? Because so you take care of yourself financially.
Why did I become an engineer? Okay, I'm sorry.
I was just making a statement. It's almost apparent that that's why you did it. Because if you go to school, get an education, you can take care of yourself financially.
Yeah.
You're probably doing very well and successful with that. You don't need to go to work. You don't need to do spoken word. You don't need to speak to people that want to be.
True.
What inspires you to do that? What inspired you to start this from the beginning? When you first thought about the book and the way you speak to people.
Okay. Poetry, I had been writing poetry since I was 16. But as far as selling it and taking it serious, no. What inspired me to go a little further with it and share it, that's interesting. I was in the store one day, and I remember I was walking down the aisle, and I saw this poem in this frame. I said, I can do that. I can take my poem and put it in a frame, and said, I can do that. So stuff started clicking. I was okay, I can do that. So as soon as I'm thinking about it, the plan came up. Okay, but it's what you need to do. You need to take some of your poems, get some paper, like some resume type paper, colorful paper, print it up, go Kinko's. Then you need to go to the dollar store, get you 10 frames. Oh, by the way, how much does the table cost at the flea market? So I'm working all this out in my head. So with that being said, I said, okay, I got a plan. So I called the flea market. The flea market says it costs $10 to get a table for a Saturday. I said, cool. Wait and find out how much the resume paper costs. I think it costs about $4. After getting paper, as far as going to Kinko's and make prints, they don't maybe like $2. So you got 2, you got 4, you got 10, you're at about $16. You bought about 10 frames, you're at $26. They only cost $1. So I figured $26, we blow that going out to eat. So one day of going out to eat, I could fulfill a goal. So what I did was I went on and got everything, got my table at the flea market, and I sold my first poem at the flea market. I got there about 8, 9 o'clock, sold my first poem, I want to say about 12:30. And when I sold my first poem, it was like somebody writing $1 million check. Because I knew it was something more valuable in me than my degree. You go to school to get a degree, to get educated. But it taught me there was something in me where I didn't have to go to school for. It's just an internal gift that I have. So I sold my first poem, and I think I sold 2 poems that day. And I went to work the following Monday, and I started selling things at work and custom writing poetry at work. So it kind of grew, and I began to get excited because I knew I could achieve certain goals. So after a while, I realized, what else can I do? So I had an idea to do inspirational open mic. So I went after that. So I talked to different churches. Then what else can I do? So I said, well, I want to do a poetry workshop. And a friend of mine gave me the best advice I've had. And I get this to y'all. I call it the Thelma theory. She said, we were talking, and I said, well, she said, why don't you do a poetry workshop? I said, well, I don't know enough about poetry to do a workshop. I didn't go to school for it. I'm not the most educated. And I didn't do all that great in English, to tell you the truth. So she's okay. You might not know everything about poetry. You might not be the best poet. She said, but you know more than somebody else. Share what you do know, and don't worry about what you don't. And when she gave me that advice, I did a poetry workshop. And that's something I apply to everything I do. Just because you don't know the most about something or because you want the best at something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. There are a lot of people who are singers and they aren't the best singers making millions of dollars. Got that right. But they was bold enough to hit that stage. I say this clearly. I don't think Michael Jordan's the best basketball player. There's somebody else who at home on the court that can blow Jordan put him under the ground, but he won't go after that gift. There's a lot of great singers and musicians and everything, but they don't have the courage to go after it. To achieve anything in life, it takes courage. It takes courage. It's not always the most educational, being the most smart. It takes a lot of courage to go after it. It takes hearing no. It takes hearing that doesn't sound right. It takes where you're not smart enough. It takes all of that to go after what you want. So you got to have the courage to go after it. I hope I answered your question. Any other questions? Anybody else got any questions? Okay, I got a question for you. So when your CD coming out? Because everybody gonna ask that question. I'm wondering myself, when your CD coming out?
I'm looking to actually have a CD by next summer.
Working on any singles because some of us can't wait till next summer to pop that CD in. So
Yeah, here shortly I'm gonna end in a CD, do a single, yes.
okay, all right. Just check it. Anybody else got any questions?
All right. If no one else has any questions, I want to make sure, Adrian, you have some things coming up that I want to make sure you let people know about.
Yes, Diamond's House have the Diamond's House fashion show that will be held here on March the 25th. That's a Sunday from 5 to 7. It's a charity fashion show. However, we're bringing awareness to domestic violence. We're going to minister to people through mime, fashion, skits, and poetry. We have tickets on sale for that event, $20 donation. We would greatly appreciate it if you guys are able to come out and support us.
And it's going to be nice. We were just at the rehearsal. The models have been working, and we have our, what's his name? Carlisle. He does his thing.
He does his thing.
And so it's going to be really nice.
We also have Mr. John Curtis that's heading that up. He's a part of Diamond's House. He is unable to be here today because he had to travel to for his aunt's 100th birthday.
Oh, awesome.
Tentative. If y'all leave y'all email address, we'll let y'all know. Because I know some of y'all missed the first part. But we are going to do another one next month. So we'll collect your email address and let you know what's coming up and come out and support. Go ahead.
That one's gonna be in Chesapeake, right?
Chesapeake or Norfolk. We trying to finalize it, so we will be Chesapeake or Norfolk.
I will be doing a concert in May of this year. The date will be specified later, but I'll be doing a concert.
And single.
Mr. Rousseau, we really appreciate you playing today. Could you give us a little bit of background information on you and your musical background?
Y'all give it up for Russ, because he was doing his thing.
Thanks for putting me on the spot. As she said, my name's Russ. Both Ryan and Adrian, they're co-workers of mine. And I located down here from Pennsylvania back in 2008 to work in the shipyard doing what these guys do. Trying to build great ships, as they say. But, I went to school the same way Jake's did, get education, but my passion is music. And when I first started playing music, I was 9 years old. And 2 weeks into me playing, going to guitar lessons and everything, I was struck down by a car. I was died. I was in a body cast from here to my feet for months. When I did get home from the hospital, I used to see my guitar standing in the corner, kept looking at it. So I would ask my dad to give me my guitar, and I continued to play from that point on to now. I'm affiliated with several different musicians in areas, outside the area, Philadelphia area, different bands, and so forth and so on. I'm hoping that, maybe one day I will pick up something that I really enjoy as far as the music and band-wise in this area. However, I spend a lot of time supporting other musicians because I love it. It's in my heart, just like the artist back there. It's just something that's in me. When I was in school, all the guys that played the instruments, that was back in the late 70s, early 80s. I think some of these people here can relate to the Jerry Curl days. Yeah, exactly, juice and all that, all that. But a lot of the guys I was in school with, playing with, they had egos, super duper egos. I played guitar, I look good, so, and they used to always push me to the back. And I used to accept it. And I had to tell myself, look, God gave you something. Don't let nobody belittle what God gave you. And I stepped out and I started to adventure with different instruments. And one of the things I would like to share with everybody is that I can't read a lick of music, but I can play every instrument out there. I listen, I find it, and I go. That goes to show you the true blessings that God put in you. It goes to show you about the professional over here that built the Titanic, but you got the amateur here that built Noah's Ark. I don't need to read in order to express myself through my art. Is it a plus? Yeah. But I'm just thankful that I'm able to support you guys and be here for Diamond's House and whatever else goes on. Y'all got my support. And just thank you for just listening to me play bass today. Thanks.
Oh, I was just going to say,